In 1615, in a quiet mountain dojo of feudal Japan, a master asked his student a question that would define his fate. "Teacher," the master said, "if you face 10 enemies with your sword, how many can you kill?" The young samurai answered without hesitation. "All 10, master." The old man shook his head. "Wrong. You will kill none. Because the moment your mind is on 10 enemies, you have already lost to the first." That was the paradox every samurai had to solve. True victory does not come from action, but from presence. Not from technique, but from mind. Not from the sword in your hand, but from the silence in your soul. Those who understood this became legends. Those who didn't became corpses. And here's what no one tells you. This principle was never about fighting. It was about living. Right now, you're fighting 10 battles at once: work, relationships, health, money, purpose. And you're losing them for the same reason samurai died on battlefields 400 years ago. You're everywhere. Except here. Teacher was 17 when shame found him. He had trained for 5 years in Yamamoto-sensei's dojo. His technique was flawless. His strikes were fast. His form was perfect. But during sparring, something always went wrong. His mind raced. What if I fail? What if I look weak? What if I disappoint my master? His breathing tightened. His body froze. His technique collapsed. The other students whispered, "Good form. No spirit. He thinks too much. He'll never pass the test." The final examination was simple and brutal. Wooden sword versus real steel. Not to the death, but close enough that fear revealed truth. Most students took it at 18. Teacher was nearly 17 and a half. His master hadn't mentioned it once. One evening, Teacher approached Yamamoto-sensei, who sat kneeling before the shrine. "When will I be ready?" Teacher asked. "You are technically ready," the master said. "But that means nothing." "Stand up," he said. "Strike me." Teacher raised his sword. His hands shook. "I can't." "Why?" "Because you're my master." The master's voice hardened. "No. You're afraid. Afraid of what comes after the strike. Afraid of failure. Your mind is in 10 places, none of them here." The words cut deeper than steel. "Until you learn presence," the master said, "you will never be samurai. You will be a corpse with good technique." That night, Teacher didn't sleep. He realized the truth. Every fight, every moment, he was living in outcomes, not reality. So he made a decision. He would find the answer, whatever it took. The next morning, the master announced there would be no sword practice. Only cleaning. All day, the students swept and scrubbed. Teacher thought it was pointless until he watched the master. Every movement was complete. Every stroke deliberate. Nothing rushed. Nothing missing. Afterward, the master showed him a scroll. Shoshin, beginner's mind. When a beginner lifts a sword, the master said, his mind is empty. No fear. No future. Only this. You sweep while thinking of swords. You fight while thinking of tests. You are never actually here. The samurai's greatest weapon, the master said softly, is presence. From that day on, Teacher trained differently. When he walked, he walked. When he ate, he ate. When he practiced, there was only the sword. The first week was agony. Everything felt slow. His mind rebelled. The second week, something changed. For a brief moment in meditation, the noise stopped. He heard the wind, his breath, his heartbeat. Silence existed. By the third week, sparring returned. Teacher faced Kenji, a warrior who had already passed the test. Old Teacher would have panicked. New Teacher stood still. When Kenji attacked, Teacher moved without thinking. Block, step, counter. Not from memory, from awareness. Kenji stepped back, stunned. You've changed. The next morning, the master spoke. Tomorrow, you face the test. The courtyard was silent. Teacher stood with a wooden sword. Yamamoto-sensei faced him with a real katana. The master attacked. Teacher responded, not trying to win, not trying to prove anything. Just present. Strike after strike. Breath after breath. Then the master created an opening, a perfect chance to attack. Teacher didn't take it. He saw the trap. The master lowered his sword and bowed. You have passed. Later, the master said, you wanted to be the best swordsman. Instead, you became present. The sword is a tool. Presence is the weapon. But this was only the beginning. Teacher was sent to Mount Koya to train with Zen monks. No swords. Only sitting. Months passed. His ego fought. His body ached. Then realization struck. Presence isn't stopping thoughts. It's not obeying them. Thoughts became clouds. Awareness became sky. One day, the monks sent him to face bandits terrorizing a village. Teacher went unarmed. 5 men faced him. He didn't threaten. He didn't fight. He stood present. One bandit raised his sword, then stopped. The leader knelt. Violence dissolved in awareness. Years later, Teacher ran the dojo. A new student arrived, eager and anxious. I want to be the greatest swordsman, the boy said. Teacher smiled. There is no moment you become the greatest, he said. There is only this moment. He handed the student a broom. When you sweep, Teacher said, just sweep, because the path of the samurai was never about killing. It was about being fully alive.